Chaos963. Doing it to you in 3D, religiously. Hope your day is half as good as mine. If it's half as good as mine, you're doing all right. Gonna do it to you again, and hope you put some ears on it. If not, so be it. So be it. My information on the bottom. Want to get at me? There it is. If not, whoop, there it is. I'm looking at all the things that's going on and come to a complete understanding that, man, we've been worked into a frenzy for real. Worked into a frenzy. You know, when I went on my sabbatical, went in, went out, state, fed time, both. When I was in, man, I did all the studying and learning I could do. I figured, you know, something's wrong here. Something's wrong. You know, my best thinking and the thinking that caused my reaction sent me to the penitentiary. And I said, that's not good. So this time around, I said, you know, I got to work this out, man. I gotta grab this thing by the reins, you know. So I did. And in doing that, I learned that I had to reprogram my mind, and I didn't quite have the verbiage that I use now, but I now articulating it, I say I had to and still continue to reprogram my mind, tap into my subconscious, and create my reality. They use words like erase the old tapes, put in new tapes, things like that. And, you know, okay, well, you know, whatever works. But I've come to learn that closest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So I don't have time to go around and beat around no bushes. I'm trying to get there and make it happen. So, with words, it's important to get the words that work best, the correct words. I said once that Alaskans have, I don't know, a few hundred words to describe ice and ice conditions. Now that's necessary because when they're trying to tell you about some slush or whatnot, a road condition, they're going to give you the word for it. And when they give you that word, you're going to know exactly what they're talking about. Well, in the things that we deal with in life, there's words for it, and the exact word, when you have that exact word that gets to that point, then you got an understanding now, you know. I like some of the verbiage, you know, youngsters be using today because it gets to a point. But now some of it is lightweight, evasive, and that is a point in and of itself because they're not trying to have everybody, you know, in on their conversation. I remember we was coming up, man, we had all kind of, you know, pig Latin, double Dutch and all that old stuff. So we could talk around folks and they'd never understand. But I also saw that as we did that when I was coming up, particularly when I left and came back, you know, everybody used it. All the Europeans was using it. And I'm like, man, you know, what's the use of having it? Codes and secret languages if everybody knows it. But so be it. It is what it is. But I say that to say that's not good. So today I'm going to speak real lightly on words. You know, all the stuff I be trying to put out there, I just be tapping it a little bit, trying to, you know, get some feels. And so far, the feeling I'm getting is, you know, I'm preaching to the choir, and the choir is me. And that's cool too. That is excellente. For real, for real. So I'm pouring some libations and then jump right into it. Pour libations so I can invoke the powers that have been afforded unto me via the ancestors that have gone before me and struggled and learned and experienced this life experience, and I can tap into that and get the wealth of their knowledge. It's that simple, you know. And I'm kind of get to the point, I was trying to, and it's just been a great experience. I was learning this here and trying to get to the point and understand, why I might need to put it like that, put it like this. Man, I'm at the point now, I'm going to just put it there, put it there like I put it there. And if it raises to somebody's conscious level, cool. It's not cool. This is not on your vibratory weight. But if it is, man, gotta grab a hold, get it, and run with it. Because believe me, the stuff I'm putting out is solid, and solid in the fact that it works, and most of the stuff has been vetted, so I know that it comes from science, ancient science. And I'm talking about stuff way before the Christianity and all the rest of that, Judaism, on and on and on. You understand? I'm talking about the original stuff. Folks, we've been here millions of years. And if you're, okay, believe what you want to believe and act according to what you believe. But I'm here to tell you, millions of years. I mean, they got artifacts, millions of, they done dated that stuff hundreds of thousands and millions of years. But, let folk that the powers that be tell it, we've been here about a week and a half, and into that week and a half, all of this, what we have here is what they've come with. And wrong, man. I tell you, the systems that have gone before us were so magnificent, man. The things we do right now would pale by comparison. And it's interesting because they try to use the little few things that they have to make us think that, we're just progressing right along, and this, that, and other. Man, come on, everybody knows that ain't the case. That ain't the case. They get the cell phone, man, and that, it can do all this, that, and man, come on. We did that on the embryo stage, the kids did that. This would be toys compared to what they did and experienced, particularly at the peak of those civilizations, being the ancient Kemet and whatnot. So with that understanding, I say that it behooves you to, as much as possible, tap into that and get some of that energy, and particularly in light of the fact that we've completed a great year. I think what they call it is the great year, and that's when our sun goes once around its sun, which is every 25,000 years. Well, that just comes to an end, and that has released incredible energy, and some of the time I try to, again, make my stuff a little more palatable, but I toning it and watering it down, it's truly not my style, so I just got to hit the pedal to the metal and let it go and just do what it do, let the chips fall where they may. Because I tried the tone down thing, and it just, man, after a while, you'd be like, your head ready to bust, because you can't keep holding back so much energy. So my point is that as I start to feel this energy coming at this time now, I mean, I sit sometimes and just sweat pours down, that Kundalini energy rising up, and it has to have an extreme reaction on this physical body. For one, these bodies weren't really, I don't want to say weren't designed, but they weren't designed to handle the type of energy that we truly come from. We're talking about the energy that created universes. That's powerful stuff. And so now that is being exhibited in us, it's encompassed in us, and as that is tapped into and released, man, let me tell you. And I'm telling you another interesting thing. Look up the spontaneous combustion. You hear a little more about that. I mean, they come and folk that sit over there in the chair and just exploded, spontaneous combustion. And a lot of that stuff, they keep on the DL. And then what they don't keep on the DL, oftentimes they set up in ways that if we do run across those types of things, we either, one, deal with it as science fiction, or two, we deal with it as some sort of cartoonish thing. And that is strategic, So if you see something and you saw on a cartoon, well, no, that's not real. Well, okay. But it is real. It is real. Let me tell you how real things are. If you can think it, then it's real. Because your thought is what gives it energy. Your thought is as real and as powerful as anything. So with that understanding, knowledge, and awareness, you realize that as you read and deal with these folks that are dealing with cartoons and whatnot. So then, having said that, I have people kind of freak. I'm going to go ahead and pour some libation. You know, I love my people, man. The ones who on, they did the best they knew to do. I wish at times that some of them knew a little better, knew a little more, but it is what it is. So now, you know, it's on me. What am I going to do? You know, what am I going to do? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig into this stuff as hard as I can, learn as much as I can, and put it to work. Put it to work. Because that's what's up, man. Put it to work on my behalf. And watch the fireworks, baby. So, as I say, pour the libations, when you speak the names, it gives power, and it's a reciprocal type of thing, synergy, if you will. So you speak, and it power, and it comes back, and goes around. That's why, you know, a lot of stuff they be doing nowadays is ritualistic, and folk just don't realize. And I can't, you know, I've been, like I say, holding back and this, that, and the other. But I'm finna let folk have it now. But it's ritualistic. And in that, they have us actually doing rituals and don't even know it. I mean, the pagan holidays, everybody, yeah, well, I don't celebrate Easter and I don't celebrate Christmas, blah, 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 this, that, and the other, because I know they're originally pagan holidays. Okay, let's move on to the fact that, okay, they are pagan holidays. Pagan holidays, what were the reasons that the pagans had the holidays? What was their point? Well, the point was to serve, worship their deities, their gods. And what does that do? Well, when you serve and worship a god, it gives the energy. It's all about energy and power. So, and once you get that going, man, you know, people, and it's just look at it common sensely. And I say that because we're spiritual beings, and by being spiritual beings, we literally function and understand on a spiritual level. So when we allow ourselves to function and understand on that spiritual level, the spiritual things make sense. But again, the brainwashing that tries to go down to keep us away from our spirituality works. So when you start talking about these spiritual things, ritual and whatnot, well, oh man, whoopty-whoopty, okay, well, then don't do it, okay. But we know the folks are doing it. You know, they had one of the biggest rituals just passed, Halloween and all St. Eve's, November 1st and all that, man. That's ritual, man. And when you pay homage, when you speak, say the names of the ancestors, then their energy is there for you. And with that energy comes knowledge, power, wisdom, and all the things like that. And once you really understand that and become more sensitive and can feel it, then you feel it. You know, like I was telling you over today and on yesterday, I was just like, I was doing some little menial things and just drenched in sweat. I'm like, what is this? And at first I was like trying to figure, oh, okay, I know that there's an abundance of energy out there. There's abundance of energy out here now. And as these rituals continue, this ritual, this voting thing, man, come on, you know? That they purposely doing this like they do it to invoke emotions in you, and then they quasi feed off the emotion, man. You know, that's what it's about. And I used to started going to the holiness church and all, because like I told you, well, like I've said, I raised in the Lutheran church, and it was just like dry as toast. And so when I had the opportunity to experience the holiness, I was like, man, okay, this is what up. Because they would jump in there and they would invoke the spirit, and the spirit would come and move, and the energy would come. And folks would be sweating and jumping and dancing and singing and worshiping the spirit. And as they worshiped it more, the more energy came. And I mean, it's that simple. It's not rocket science, man. And it is real. And you can label it and articulate it however you want to label it and articulate it. But the bottom line is it's real, it's happening. And so if you understand that, then you can, with purpose, do these things. With purpose, move to invoke the deities and the power. With purpose, you can move to have the energy increase. With purpose, you can seek the deities that will strengthen you in different areas. With purpose, you can go after these energies that will help you accomplish the things you need to do. With purpose. And that's the first part of the whole thing, is to do what you do with intent. You know, when I fast, with intent. When I meditate, it's with intent. When I what you would call praying, it's with intent. It's with intent. I have a certain intent. You know, I like when I told you, well, Paul said, I don't just pray to beat up against the wind. No, I pray with intent. And when you get out here and move and do these things with intent, watch what happens. You'll get it. You'll get it. Things will move. I like Tim Rollins. He says, something about where your focus is, the energy, or where your energy is, where the focus is, something like that. But he talks about where you put your energy, where you focus, that's where your results are going to be. And it's all, you know, all of the secrets and all that stuff, it all comes from the ancient writings, man. This stuff ain't new, ain't nothing new under the sun. They done took it and rehashed it and put their name on it, you know, just spiritual plagiarism. I like that, spiritual plagiarism. And they took it and they said, oh yeah, well this is, you know, well, we got these deities. Well, if you look at these deities and go back a little further, oh, it's the same deities here, just under a different name, you know. And you take that back a little further, oh, it's the same deities here, just a different name, you know. So they, as this thing moves forward and forward, it's all the name. And now for this dispensation of time and whatnot, you know, the Horus, they want the baby Jesus. Oh, okay. But of course, if you don't know that, the baby Jesus, okay, well, look to that and invoke that power, man. The Spirit of God. But when you know and understand that your position and who you are, as the word says, ye are God, then you kind of learn and get an understanding about the power, how it moves, so you tap to it and you move into it differently. And it's basically with a better understanding, knowledge, and with focus and with intent, you know, and you cause those things that are not to be. Call those things that are not to be as they are. Paul said, whatsoever you pray, when you pray, believe. You know, however you want to put it, man, it's there. And oftentimes, you know, back in the day, my frustration was I would be dealing with, when I was heavy, I was Christian, like I told you, I was a preacher, day minister, you know, at one time, and I was dealing with these folks, and I would be trying to teach and educate, and the Bible being my premise, I'd be coming from the Bible, and I say, and then, you know, the word says something, and they would look at me like my head screwed off and on. And I come to realize, man, you folks ain't even reading the word. Well, how the hell are you going to have some power in something, through something that you don't even know? You don't even know, man. You know, often at times, you know, man, relationships is an awesome thing. And we get involved in relationships, and we don't even know our mates, man. We're so busy talking about us. We know, man, what's your woman's favorite color? You know? How tall is she? Some of y'all struggle with her birthday. And your anniversary date? Come on, man. You folks ain't serious, man. And it's time to get serious. Time to get serious. Because things are changing. Energies are moving. And if you don't tap into it, it's going to tap into you. And that's just the way I'm going to say it. If you don't tap into it, it's going to tap into you. And for the most part, you're being tapped into. Before I came on, you know, I was getting ready. I took a shower and blah, blah, blah. I was dressed and had my thing on. And I listened to a lot of the different speakers and whatnot. Not speakers, but the deep people that put out messages. Anyway, one was talking about Ice Cube, man, saying, you know, how this, that, and the other, and how he's being used, and, you know, they took advantage of him. And I said, yeah, okay, well, whatever. But the point being is, if you ain't leading, then you following. And so many people, man, by not studying, like you're following, man. And yeah, okay, it's not bad to follow if you follow somebody that's, you know, doing a good leading. But it's best for you to have some, for the most part, your own initiative, your own guidance. It's best to have your own direction, man. Because nobody can do you like you. Nobody can do you like you. We point these like this. Hallelujah. And it's weird because I'm moving to take this thing to a whole new level because I just have to. Chaos. I chose that name for me for a reason. Chaos963. Chaos is the entity that they say created all of this on this plane, this universe here, a chaos spirit. And so into that it comes in chaos, but then it goes into order. And that was kind of how my whole trip was. My life, everything came chaotically, and now it's moving into order. The 963 is the harmonic number, the harmony number for the crown chakra. And so, Chaos 963. So then, pour a little something there for Judy Myrtle, my mom, Ashe, my stepdad, William Fredericks, Ashe, Dallas Williams, my father, Ashe, Aunt Janice, Ashe, Uncle Wayne, Ashe, for Thaddeus Hodges, Ashe, for Dwayne Powell, Ashe, for Daddy Lenny, Ashe, Ava Shani, Ashe, for Diane, Ashe, all spirits known and unknown, Ashe, ancestors known and unknown, Ashe, Papa Legba, Ashe. You know, I'm not explaining that. Let me get these other ones up here that I've been going to for the last week or so, and then I have a whole new batch coming next week. Man, I was blessed tremendously on yesterday. It was just incredible. Every day, though. Every day. I mean, blessed. I mean, just powerful. Blessed. Ashe. Balaam. Ashe. Zagan. Ashe. Payaman. Ashe. Person. Ashe. Asmodee. Ashe. Lo Roda. Ashe. La Petro. Ashe. Ashun. Ashe. Ezeal. Ashe. Shango. Ashe. Chango. Ashe. Yawanye. Ashe. Ogun. Ashe. Ogu. Ashe. Ali. Ashe. Michael Jackson. Ashe. I'm out of water. Ashe. It's so fascinating, man, because we're talking about words now, that we understand that we communicate through words, but yet still we take words so lightly. And I mean, we do take them lightly, particularly when we start talking about the metaphysical and esoteric level. You know, when I first started studying and whatnot on the metaphysical and esoteric, I was amazed at how many words that are used in common everyday use that had spiritual connotations, that had relationships to deities and entities. And people said them and didn't even know. And I said, well, if that's the case, when they're saying these things, there's energy, there's power being invoked. Of course, if you do it knowingly, with intention, I believe it's more intense and more focused, but irrelevant. If you do it and say it at all, it's acquiring, it's doing what it's being sent out to do. And in that, we are, and I say we because I was doing it as much as the next guy, invoking powers that I didn't even recognize, you know? And so when things be happening, folk be, oh, I don't understand why, you know, me and this and what. Yeah, well, you spoke that stuff. And it goes deeper than that, not necessarily speaking deities, giving deities energy, but merely the stuff that we say and speak when we go through the day. And when you make confessions of health or wealth, or if you make confessions of death and damnation, that's what's up. Because there's energy in your words, in your speaking. The Bible talks about it, so whatever, you know, faith or whatever religion or tilt you're on, no one understands that. No one understands that. And it works on all the levels. It works consciously, subconsciously. It works to call on a energy source. It works, or to create a situation. It works. And when I say that, I mean like depression, accidents. I was noticing the other day ago, I was in some store, it might have been Walmart, man, and they had a thing where they were counting. It had a number, 300 or however many days or whatnot without an incident. I thought, oh, okay, and I thought, well, that's pretty smart. Why is that smart? Because it was Walmart. Because you go back to the bathroom, they had the lounge cafeteria to the side, and they had it posted. You know, as you walked in out the cafeteria, and you turned, and you knew what it said. You know, so you thought, and in your thought, you put forth that energy. Or some people would actually say it. I said it because I read it. You know, 380 days with no injuries. Well, now that's the power being invoked, and so they're using that to get the people's energy to keep down accidents, to keep the accident spirit away or whatnot. There's a one story in the Bible, and I can't remember it all correctly. I told myself I'm gonna start tapping into some of the other books and bring some of them stories. But this story was about the caravan. It was, I believe, Rachel, when she was traveling, and she was sneaking a basket or something, and in it she had a piece of article that had a spirit on it. And so they came in, they were looking for it. I remember she was sitting on it and whatnot. And I thought, wow, that's interesting, because not knowing that power, there's people that are taking articles and whatnot, talismans and things, into their homes and their cars and bringing that energy and that spirit and don't even know it. So it even goes further than just words, man. There's things that have things attached to it. Spirits, energy, and that's just the bottom line. And I guess the bottom line to what all I'm saying is we're in a spirit world. This world is about spirit. We deal with the solids and the foundation of it and whatnot, but this is spirit. You know, you talk about, okay, God. God is what? He's a spirit. So if he's a spirit, then the thing that is energizing this, the thing that is controlling this, if that's how you believe, is a spirit. So it just makes sound reason that if you want the best out of all of this, if you want the most power, if you want the victory, to deal with it as he deals with it, or as she deals with it. Because, you know, I believe God, I know God is a black woman. So there it is. But if you want the most out of it, then it is incumbent upon you to deal with it in the way that you've been instructed to deal with. I was speaking the other day ago, I was reading out of Genesis. I said, well, you know, I was showing how things were created in the spoken word. It went on and on. I said, God said, let there be light. God said, let the light divide. Let God say it. And that's how he works. Okay, she works. See, that's that brainwashing training growing up. Because I know what, you know, it stands to reason that God is a black woman. They tell you that. And I did a whole thing on that. You might want to go look at that, because that's powerful stuff. But that being the case, that would only be wise to move in that vein. If you went to Rome and everybody over there is speaking Roman, then if you go over there speaking English, you're not going to have the success that the Romans are having. You're just not. And it even goes deeper than that. The whole fact that you come over there with a different culture and everything. If they got places you go where after you've eaten, it's complimentary to belch. Well, someplace you go, if you belch, you might, you get your feelings hurt. But that's all communication, words in motion. And I was speaking about the different words that people use and don't even recognize them as being spiritual words. Abracadabra is a true word. Did you know that? I learned, I was like, what? Yeah, that ain't just like abracadabra. No, it's abracadabra. That was used in rituals and whatnot. And so it goes on and on. And you would be shocked because this whole thing is spiritual, based on spirituality, spiritual concept. And so when you look back from the names of the week to the names of the month, to different greetings and everything, all of it. But you don't recognize it as that, so you just say these things and don't even you don't recognize it. You don't put much weight on it. I've been listening to some of the conscious people talking about some of the things they say, and essentially like they say overstand. They don't say understand, and that's quasi legal too, because when you say you understand, it means you come up under whatever law or whatnot is before. You say things like good morning. Well, morning is to mourn something, you know, and so they constantly, a lot of them say grand rising and things like that. So it's just important to know and understand, because then you can take advantage of what you're working with. You know, if you realize that, oh, if I do this and do that, it makes for a better move for me. Well, I'm gonna do A, B, and C and make for a better move, because I've come to that understanding now. Simple, man. This is not rocket science. And actually, once you really start dealing with it, the simpler it is. It's complex for you to move contrary to the natural. And if you're a spiritual being, this is truly a spiritual world, then you're a spirit being going through a spiritual world. It talks about we're God entity having a physical experience, or however they say that. So if that's the case, then if you are the spirit being having this spiritual experience, if you are learning non-spiritual things, you're in essence going against what is the norm, what is natural. You're going contrary to what is, man. That's the bottom line. You know, maybe it was, I was at a friend's, and we was talking about spirituality and whatnot, consciousness, and I was sharing. I said, well, everybody, you know, deals with it, you know, depending on your level. And so I was showing it to her, and I was walking through the house. I said, look, and I was showing her all the different deities and religious emblems and things that she had in the house. Excuse me, didn't even realize it. Didn't even realize it. And there's things that seem so subtle and so benign, but yet the still is so serious, man. So serious. So I definitely gonna go deeper into the word thing, because it's important. I shared a lot of that on when I shared about spells, you know, because with a lot of words, I spoke about rituals, a lot of words actually invoke spells. People putting spells on people, you know, and it's simple. Look at the words when you say, oh man, he cursed him out. Oh yeah, he cursed him. Oh yeah, he put a curse on him. What did he say, man? You go to hell. Okay, well, one ticket to hell, please. First class. You know, you go to hell. All right. It's really that simple. And like I said, when you take all the trickery out of it, you see how simple it is. You see how simple it is. I mean, I had an experience when I was up there in the belly of the beast, and I was fasting and praying heavy. Just, I don't know, man, just whoo, going after it. And I came off a fast. It's like a 21-day fast. And I was dealing with this one cat, and he'd been real. He'd been a thorn in my side. And I said something to the effect about him having pain and being punished. We had some sort of episode, you know, right after that. I had to go to the hospital one night. I thought, woo, you know, and I sort of tongue in cheek, you know, yeah, I put that on him, you know. And then, long story short, I said some other things about some other scenarios, and that came to pass too. And I realized that I'd hit some dimension. I was in some sort of zone where, man, my words would not hit the ground. And I that scripture is the one that came to mind. And so it was a time for me to really learn. It was truly a learning experience. And with that understanding, you know, we know and realize that as we move in this, the more we exercise, the stronger that muscle will get. And it's there for us to do, you know. It's there for us to use and do. So again, I'm not going to be before you long. Hit and stick, in and out. Understand your words, man. Understand your words, use your words perfectly, and learn the words. You know, I was first started studying the metaphysical and esoteric and whatnot, and I had to get a whole new glossary. You know, I was getting words that I never used. I had to learn. Same situation when I first started studying the law. I had a whole new set of words. And, you know, and they even got a special dictionary, Black's Law Dictionary. This dictionary is for the law. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I started looking up these words. I didn't even know these words. And then the words I did know, at least I thought I knew, I would look them up, and they didn't mean what I thought they meant, particularly in a legal arena. And you need to look at that, man. It's consequently, I shared it once before that because of that, when I started doing my legal writings, putting motions in and all that old stuff, I learned that I put a glossary first. When I would go and be done with court, I would submit my glossary. I said, now these are the words I'll be using, and this is what they mean. Because, you know, people take it for granted. Oh, we understand. I know what that, yeah, I know what that means. Oh, okay. And you get in there and you get to working out, all of a sudden well, what? No, I didn't mean to say that. Well, that's exactly what you said. That's what I said, but it's not what I meant. Well, okay, but that's what you said. And in this court, that's what that means. So I would put glossaries. I got a copy of the glossary on something. Maybe I'll read that to you. You know, I'm trying to get in on this, get in hard. So maybe one day I'll read that to you. But it's about, I don't know, it might be about 60, 70 words. And I do that all the time, you know, back when I was doing the heavy legal stuff, because I wanted to be sure that when I said people, that we were all talking about the same thing. Because people's a tricky word. Understand is a tricky word. And so you need to know. So when you start putting them in your emotions and briefs and whatnot, that you're communicating what you want to communicate and not communicating what they believe. Words are powerful. And again, that's why I want to talk about that. The title of it is Sticks and Stones. The sticks and stones may break your bone, but words will kill you, man. Words will kill you. And that's just all there is to it. And we dealing with words daily, particularly with English, probably one of the worst languages there is, man. And we need to know and understand what the words mean, and we need to, man, I'm telling you too, you want to, possibly, man. Anyway, you want to see some powerful stuff, get you a real good dictionary and start looking up some words. Why do you think when Malcolm X was in the joint, man, he read the dictionary, man. When I was in there, I had a dictionary. I read it, cover to cover, read it. And then I got a couple big dictionaries now. But look in there, look at the origin of the words and see what they really mean, some of them. You'll be surprised. Oftentimes, man, matter of fact, I go right now, go to my phone and show you where every now and then I'll look up a word just to get the ultimate understanding of what they mean. And then you got to be careful with the average phones and dictionaries and whatnot, because they're going to give you the wrong meaning. They're going to give you what's current, trendy, because words change. So you stay on top of that. You know, they add words. They take words out. And I'm talking about Webster and them, Oxford, the big dictionary people. But the important thing that I want you to know and understand is that the words are a creative force. And as you use your words, understand that you're creating and that you are sending out energy. Excuse me. Bad boys. MP for real. And so as you do that, it's imperative that you know and understand what energy and what force you're creating. Okay. Ashe. You know what that means. Thank you. There's my stuff on the bottom. Get out of fella. In and out. Be back, same back time, same back station. I can't slow down. I can't lighten up. I'm just tighten up. So make it a great day.